honor to be with you this afternoon. It's an honor to be on a stage that I do not yet belong on, but I hope to belong on soon. Mr. President, Mr. Speaker, my good friend Josh Penry, thanks for being with me. I intend to make news today. I think that what the state needs to do is institute a $1 billion bailout of the news media business.
That's pandering.
Well,
may not be enough.
George Costanza said, "Always leave on a high note." So, I am honored to actually serve on the select committee on jobs that the president and the speaker came out with, and we have already met 4 times, and we've been in the information gathering stage so far. I think 2 major proposals will come out of that, and they certainly can't give you any details at this point, but we're looking at ideas at this point. Broad ideas that we have to condense into specific legislative proposals. We are definitely going to be weaving anything that we do on transportation with the major bill that the leaders have already spoken about. And I'll talk about that in a minute. The other concept that I think it's important that we look at, we've been hearing a lot about the smart scientists that have got great inventions at our universities. But sometimes the scientists who have inventions don't know how to bring those inventions into the arena of actually building a business that knows how to manufacture the product, market the product, take it into delivering it to the public, whether it's a product or whether it's a service. So we're going to try to see how we can leverage the new community college dollars to see if we can accomplish something in that arena. We've talked about that quite a bit at the committee. Those of you that have been attending the committee know that. Jobs. Our motto in the committee is Jobs by June. It's an ambitious idea to try to see if we can create jobs by June. The government is not known for their job creation role. I'm not saying that in jest. I really don't think the government very often creates jobs. But the private sector creates jobs. And how is the government currently causing the private sector to not create the jobs that they could create? I'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. Let me talk about the transportation idea. I had the honor of serving on the Federal Severance Tax and Federal Mineral Lease Interim Committee that was in 2007. Senator Penry was on that as well. And from that came a number of big proposals, one of which was our bill to change the formulas by which we distributed federal mineral lease revenues. These are pure federal dollars that we had the opportunity to tinker with because they're not subject to TABOR. And we were able to, in addition to sort of solidifying dollars that are going to go to the impacted areas, those areas that are impacted by mineral development, natural gas development, and so forth, we also created a permanent fund for higher education. And from that permanent fund, we did 2 major things. We created a fund to give money for operational expenses of higher education, but then we also used the COP method to bond against some of that newly created higher education money, and that was allowed us to initiate a number of major construction projects at our university campuses. All of the gentlemen up here so far have talked about the importance of transportation as a job creation, and that we need to use transportation to get people churning the dirt and construction workers to work. Construction workers are known for spending their paychecks. And everybody that's involved in the construction business that supplies commodities to the construction business. So we will see a multiplier effect from every construction project that we do. We need to look at a very significant transportation proposal. And we hope that the Obama administration sends down a federal bill that doesn't require matching funds. But if history's any guide, the federal bill will give more money to a state that matches it with state funds. We don't know what the federal bill is going to look like, but if they do send down a matching bill, a matching funds bill, it will be a shame if we have no money raised at the state level to match those federal dollars to be able to tackle all of the, what they're now calling, the new lingo is shovel-ready projects. And shovel-ready projects are those projects that have already gone through the process of having their environmental assessment, their environmental impacts study, and so forth, and they're ready to go. They're fully permitted and ready to go. All they need is the funding. Let me shift to the other side of the job creation discussion, and that is our state needs to live by the medical oath of do no harm. We have to look seriously at all of the regulations that the state has that impact small and large businesses. Companies that are currently cutting back jobs in Colorado on the western slope are Williams, Encana, Bill Barrett, Chevron, Marathon Oil, ConocoPhillips have all announced reductions in jobs. Now we know that they are somewhat because of the economy, but there's also quite a bit of evidence that they may find it more enticing to do business in Utah, just a few miles away. Basically the same exact production capabilities. So we have to look at our state government and ask ourselves, are our oil and gas regulations kicking an industry that is already suffering? Kicking an industry that is already down? If they are, then we should be aggressive about making changes to those regulations. When the legislature passed the bill just a couple of years ago, it was not intended to kick an industry that is one of our strongest job-producing industries in the state. And so we need to go back and look at that. I like the word Senator Penry used, which was surgical. We also need to work very hard to avoid another round of labor versus business battles. I don't think that our economy and our state right now can afford to have another series of labor union bills come through the legislature where the business community and labor unions get into a pitched battle at the state capitol. I'm hopeful that that will not happen. We've already had enough of that, and I'm hopeful that we can put that behind us as we look at tackling more challenging issues that we're confronting. The best way to get Democrats and Republicans to work together is to try. And I think that we have an atmosphere with the current leadership and the newly elected representatives throughout, both Democrat and Republican. I'm very excited about the freshmen that are coming into both chambers. I've met a number of them. And I think that there's a strong spirit right now that we don't really have room for bitter partisan fights when the people of Colorado are suffering with an economy right now. I do represent a swing district in Arapahoe County, therefore I go door to door. I personally knocked on 18,322 doors, but who's counting? And my organization did over 30,000 doors. And I can tell you that the people in my district, and I think my district is very indicative of all of Colorado, the people in my district are discouraged with the economy. And when they are discouraged with the economy, I think that we need to look for ways for our state government to not be a thumb on their backs, to not be pressuring them with unnecessary regulations. We need to look for ways to help small businesses have an easier time with government red tape. We need to look for ways for our state red tape or our state government red tape to be easier on small businesses. Finally, I think we need to look for ways that we can be a provider of hope to the people of Colorado. Hope was an important word before President Obama used it so often during the campaign. And I think it's a word that both Republicans and Democrats can embrace right now. The people of Colorado are discouraged with our current economy, and I think that they need to look to us to create some hope that we've hit bottom and we're starting back up. Thank you.